Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Saturday, August 27th. So welcome to a beautiful sunny hot day in Switzerland. It's been extremely warm in Europe this last week. I know England had the hottest day of the year, so I hope you guys are okay over in the UK, but today is just beautifully sunny and bright, very warm. So welcome. I've got my cup of tea this morning. I've chosen sweet chai, which is actually very nice. And when I smell it, I can think of all the associations. I think of India, and they make chai in these big pots with very thick milk, and it's just a beautiful smell. But it's got those same aromatic smells. So that's a nice memory to remember this morning. So hope that you've got your cup of tea or settle down, and we'll go through what's happening in this crazy world. I'm going to go kind of fast through the news today because there's so much going on. But one thing I did want to bring you up to speed on is a little dispute that's been going on in France for the last week. I've not mentioned it because it bordered on being silly, but then it got kind of serious. So I thought I'd better just mention it. So this is about the wearing of something called a burkini. This is a Muslim dress that women wear to go swimming. It covers their whole body and their head, and it's not a face cover, but it's pretty much full body cover. It's like a diving suit. It looks that same kind of thing, but it's called they call it a burkini. It was actually invented by a woman in Australia who is a Muslim lady who really made it for women who wanted to do sport, and who did not want to expose their body. And it is a Muslim principle for many women, so they choose to wear it, and they started wearing it on the beaches in France, Cannes, and some of the southern Riviera areas. And of course, because of all the latest terrorist attacks in France, in Paris last year, then down in Nice, and then in Normandy, there's just been a real response to this declaration of Muslim dress on the beaches. And a few mayors in cities down in the south of France banned the burkini. And of course, this got all kinds of activity and viral coverage around the world, cartoons and, various comments about what women should wear, what they want to wear. And it's complex. It's complex because I can see both sides of it, and I'm just kind of reporting the reality, which is, some women want to wear these burkinis, but they do remind people of the Muslim faith, and it's kind of got extrapolated to the oppression of women, but it's just a conversation that's gone on and on in France. But this yesterday, the highest court in France said that the mayors cannot ban burkinis. They reversed the ban, and they said and women can wear whatever they want. France is a very secular country, so they do try to keep the church and state from very much apart. So it was a very interesting decision. And so now burkinis are allowed on the beaches in France. And I just think it'd be really interesting what the response would be if this happened in the United States or in other parts of the world. If women started showing up wearing burkinis on the beaches. It's a very interesting question of how we assimilate different cultures into our world. So that's in France. That was an interesting story for me. In the Philippines, there's been a development in Norway. It's a neutral zone in Norway. The Philippines and the communist rebels who they've been fighting for, I think, some crazy amount of time, they have actually decided to stop fighting and to declare an indefinite ceasefire. This doesn't mean it's over, but it gives a chance now for the conversation to begin. And it's one of Asia's longest running insurgencies between the communist rebels and the Philippines government. So that's sorting itself out, hopefully, with the help of neutral ground. In Turkey, now this is, of course, an ongoing story. The Turkish army has continued to shell Kurdish positions along the Syrian border. The Kurdish fighters, PKK, these are the terrorists, the Turkish government feel are terrorists, have come back and yesterday bombed a police station. And they killed 11 people and injured 70. So it's back and forwards, and I just don't know how this is going to end. But I report every day because it's important that we know what's going on in that part of the world. In the United States, John Kerry, Secretary of State, was in Geneva yesterday with his Russian counterpart, Mr. Lavrov, and they were talking about two things, Ukraine and the Syrian war. After the end of a long day of talks, they came out with no decisions, no final resolution, but they did come out, John Kerry said, with a framework for conversation. And this is all you can hope for, that we just keep moving the ball forward and try to get this war in Syria resolved. In Brazil, the Brazilian government has charged the swimmer, Ryan Lochte, with filing a false police report. They've made a formal charge. This is a very serious offense, and he may, well, there's a prison sentence of 3 to 6 months if the person's found guilty. He doesn't have to be there in person to address this in court, but he have to send a lawyer, and they definitely are taking it seriously. So that's in Brazil. And also in Brazil, the prime minister there has actually now gone, as you know, to court to be impeached, and she's the first woman president ever for Brazil, but now is going to be probably removed. And her predecessor, a man called President Lulu, is also now under fire for supposed indiscretions with different bribes and gifts he was given. So I think the word corruption and Brazil go together in people's minds, but we'll sort it out, I'm sure. In Bolivia has a lot of problems with their workers in the mining industry. And yesterday there was a big strike. A couple of their people were killed by police in a riot a few days ago. And then yesterday, one of the government ambassadors or a minister of the Interior went to talk to these miners, but they actually kidnapped him and they killed him. So this has now started a whole chain of reactions in Bolivia, another place where Workers' Party are fighting back against what they feel are injustices in their living situation. So that's Bolivia. Oh yes, I do want to mention this story because it's really important for anyone who has an iPhone. I do. So this is how it became known to me, is that Apple has issued a worldwide alert about a hacking attack. Now, this is unprecedented for Apple. They very rarely do this. And so they have asked people to update their phones with a new version of the operating system. Yesterday when I got an email about this, I went to my phone and I didn't see it as an update. So I had to go hunt for it and install it. But now I'm sure today, if you've got an iPhone, go up into your settings on your phone and look for operating system update and make that update as soon as possible, because it's really apparently a very, very serious hacking attack that could really affect your phone if you click on certain things that might be sent to you. So just be careful with your iPhone. And Apple is you probably go to Google and check out the latest on it, and I'm sure there's lots of information. I want to check the time there. So I wanted to talk about an article that I found yesterday. It's actually quite an interesting one about being single. And I know a lot of women in our community are single women. Some by choice and others by situation or necessity maybe. And the article is actually about, from a woman, her name is Bella De Paolo. She wrote a book called, it's a long title, so I'll read it. It's Singled Out: How Singles Are Stereotyped, Stigmatized, and Ignored, and Live Happily Ever After. That's her book. So basically, the American Psychological Convention had a meeting this year, and they talked about this issue. That's basically there's a stigma against being single, that somehow it's a bad thing, and being married is a good thing, and that somehow the myth is that people who are married are happier. Now, I think we probably got like a 50-50 in our community, but I'd be very interested to know. She says that on several levels, single people are happier. They're more likely to say, I am confident about myself, or I am doing much better than I thought I would, if you're single. Also, the research shows that single people tend to not be isolated, but they tend to be people who get out more. They join more clubs. They're more socialized. And her findings, this is in a report, by the way. We'll leave the the website for you. She says that married people are the ones who become a little more insular, and their world revolves around their husband and his activities and what he wants to do and where he wants to travel with them. So single people actually get out, travel more, do more of their own thing, whereas married women tend to be a little bit more insular. This is according to research, by the way. I'm just reporting the news. I'm sure that everyone's got their own story and could give a different point of view for all of this research. But anyway, the truth is that, if you're single, science is backing you up that it's a good thing. And, I also wanted to say, we've done several articles on this. And if you're single in your 60s and loving it, great. And you don't want to date, no problem. So many women say, I'm happy being single. I'm happy being by myself. And that's, I think, a good thing. I just wanted to close with one final article here, and this is I'll do a short version of this because it's a very detailed report that Next Avenue published, and it's about the importance of keeping your muscles healthy. Now, we all know about exercise is good for you, nutrition is good for you, but there may be things going on in your body, according to this article, that are a result of weak muscles. So, for example, if you're losing energy, it could be your muscles. At age 40, apparently, we start to lose about 8% of our muscle per decade. So by the time we're in our 70s, we've lost 25% of our muscle density. So that's important. There are things you can do though. Now, muscles are more than just your biceps, right? There's muscles all over your body and they control your movement and your balance. So it's really important to take them seriously. And also, investing in your muscles when you're well is going to give you strength when you get older and maybe have an illness. Your muscles will help you to fight back. Your diet is really associated with good muscle health. And this isn't just food, it's nutrients, minerals, and vitamins. So be sure that you are eating protein-rich foods like meat, eggs, cheese. These are things that build strong muscle. And so take it seriously. So the gist of this article is that nourish your muscles, and you will have a healthier, longer life. That it's important to not think about muscles just as a weightlifting exercise, but something that really permeates your whole view of yourself. So that's your muscles. Take care of them. Spinach. Okay. So the last thing is my quote for the day. Now, yesterday someone sent me this, and this video, which I really, really loved. It's a video of a model called Carmen del Orifice. Carmen is 85 now, maybe 86, and she is, I think, one of the oldest models still on the runway. And this video that I was sent just showed her being so amazingly graceful, full of character. Yes, she's had some work done. It's true. She even admits it, but she still looks and feels elegant and beautiful. And so her quote, which I just would like to read to you because it inspired me, was, Carmen says, "I hope I've helped women get out of the closet about aging. I finally hit a point in my life where I have a look that is uniquely mine, which I have grown into. Time defines me. I didn't do it by myself. I lived it, I own it, and I present it." And that is her way of looking at the world. So I think that's a great way to end the day. I hope you have a fantastic Saturday, everyone. Take good care. Get out and do something fun in nature. Eat some good food. Keep your nutrition up and stay well. And my question for the day is, do you think there's a false stereotype that women who are single are lonely and sad? If you're a single woman, let's hear from you. Is there a false stereotype that women who are single are lonely and sad? And if you're a married woman, I'd love your feedback on this. What do you think? So have a wonderful day, everyone. Take good care, and I'll see you all again tomorrow here on Mornings with 60 and Me. Take care, everyone.